everybody in Nigeria is business savvy. Business pushes economy. Italians are not business savvy. Italians want to work for 30 years. Italy has one of the most rounded education in the whole world, even though the people themselves don't really appreciate it anymore. Just like how we do. There are opportunities here, yes, but it almost works like Nigeria. I don't know. This place is like a glorified Nigeria. That's what someone told me. That's what
The
someone.
narratives with Mr. B.
Okay. How your side?
Thank God.
You look
Everything
great.
Thank you,
Happy today
brother.
with you.
Thank you, brother. How your
Brother,
side, man?
I did good. I did good.
Confirm,
All right.
confirm.
So, again, one or two questions will be someone quickly ask you, and I believe through this interview, a lot of people will learn.
Okay.
And before then, before I'll give you 1 minute or seconds to introduce yourself to the audience, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, all my great viewers, depending on the place you are watching us from. We are back again with another episode of this program, Changing the Narratives, saying it the way it is in the city of Rome. Yeah. We are here again with our big brother in the city of Rome. We are just going to give him just a few seconds for him to introduce himself. But before then, I will always tell you to stay tight to this video, just as we do say that we do reserve the best for the end. You can only benefit to that end if you wait to the end of the video. Without wasting much of your time, let us quickly turn to our brother here as we give him just a few seconds for him to introduce himself. Can you just quickly introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay. My name is Richson.
Okay.
I'm Nigerian.
Okay.
Originally from Imo State, so I'm Igbo. I moved here 2 years ago. I was in Nigeria not up to long ago, and right now I'm working in security, and I'm studying on the side. So I'm planning to. It's not my main thing, but I'm using it to help myself while I finish my studies because I couldn't finish it back home.
Okay, you are still studying at the
Yes,
same time.
yes. I've got one more year left, and then I'll be a professional.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, now, let us, first of all, before we come to your field now, what you are doing currently and your area of study anyway.
Yeah.
So, when you were in Nigeria, what were you doing?
Okay, as I said, I was up to 2 years ago. So I was in school. I was in university, University of Futo, Owerri. Shout out to Futo, Owerri. So that's where I was. I was up there for my 4 years, and then with the particular strikes going on every year, and due to the fact that in my area they started killing people.
Wow.
They started killing people. They started literally killing people. So I had to make a decision whether to stay in the turmoil. I should have, but I wouldn't know the out chances because there were really like killings close to my school, and even close to my home in my village. Which these are the two places that I normally go to when when I was back home. School, home until I was then in Lagos. But for that time being, so it was kind of dangerous. Just to cut the story short, yeah.
That is why you decided to leave.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of maybe you were desperate for Europe.
Well, that's kind of it factors.
Okay.
Yeah, it factors.
Okay, it wasn't really okay.
Yeah,
There's a little bit from this side,
and a little bit from that side. Yeah, it factors. It factors. Very big one. Very big one. Money.
Okay, all right, all right. Okay, so let me ask you now.
Yeah.
When you were in Nigeria, you were studying close to maybe your final year or something.
Yes.
Right? Okay, like you drop it out just for Europe just because of the incident that were happening then.
Yeah.
Coming here now and you are finally in Europe, do you have any regrets or disappointment leaving your study behind?
Well, the regret is the time spent.
Okay.
The regret is the time spent, the economics and the finances spent.
Well, that's like a form of waste or something?
I wouldn't say it's a waste. I wouldn't say it's a waste because being in school kind of like teaches you how the outside world is supposed to be before you know it.
Okay.
Like in a kind of way, you have your mini society, you have friends, you have your accolades, you have people that help you, you have people that try to undermine you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a microcosm of what the real world is in a small setting. So yeah, I wouldn't call it a waste because in a kind of way, it's because mainly we all know that when you're in Nigeria, you stay mostly with your parents. So school gives you that chance of independence and to see what true people, what people truly are without that, that sheltering eye, so you can really see true characters. Oh, we have their stories of people that are like this, and then they come to school and they flip, and there's something completely different. So yeah, that's that. That's
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Like, okay, now you are in Europe now, right? Uh, Now that you are here, how do you find life in your first year here, your beginning here? How was it?
It wasn't easy.
Like, can you
It's
give us a
it's
tip of
it
it?
wasn't easy. The main thing I would say is culture shock. Culture shock. What I mean is you moving from a particular culture and then going to a next one, and that next one is completely different, far and detached from what you are normally used to. You know, for example, the shouting. We have loud voices. I wouldn't call it shouting. I would call it our normal way of speaking. But when you come here, it's seen as
Everybody is
aggressive.
very
Yes,
calm.
and they start. Yeah, everybody's calm, and we have a very like we are very active normally. Nigerians are very active in movements in everything. People here they're a little bit more relaxed, calm in their bubbles. So I notice sometimes when I'm like, you see people being very uncomfortable around you, and you're like, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just in a rush or something. I don't know if you guys are ever in a rush, but most times when I notice people being in a rush is when they're inside their cars. When they are walking on the road, they're never in a rush. Culture shock. The fact that Another thing is the fact that you might not be able to express yourself as well as you used to. Like, and this is more difficult as an adult. Like, being in Nigeria for how many years, you're used to saying things in a certain way, joking in a certain way, and it being received straight without any misinformation or misunderstanding. But when you come here, you realize that when you're now translated from your language to their language, a lot of things can get lost in translation, and a lot of things can be misunderstood. Maybe your tone can be misunderstood. This brings initial problems, which, if one has a really like strong mind and ready to open, learn, at the beginning it will be a problem, but after a while, you notice that it's not really a problem. You just have to give unto Caesar what Caesar's. That is, you don't try to be over loudly Nigerian. You try to adapt a little bit.
Adaptation.
Yeah, adaptation a little bit. It's like you make them want to at least be curious about your culture, because we know how we are known here. So, like, it's not been good in the past years, and people are working to change that, but it has not been good. So I believe anyone coming here now should understand that this place is really hard, and you don't have the difference. Another thing is the fact that when you come here, you realize that you have to be for yourself. While back home is really beautiful, we have this community-wise relationship. I help you, you help me, and this and that. When you're over here, you realize that you can't afford to do that anymore. I mean, you can, but to a certain extent. And sometimes it can be demoralizing, because you notice that because you're not forthcoming in a certain way again, you realize that most um, love, friendship, whatever, tends to die down, like in that kind of way. But I don't know, maybe I'm talking about all the bad things.
No,
Maybe
no,
I
no,
should
no,
talk
no, no,
about the
no,
good
no. It's
things
just
too. Like,
no. Definitely, we are still going to dive into the good ones. You
okay,
understand me? What have an advantage definitely also had a disadvantage as well.
yeah.
Okay, like what were you studying in Nigeria when we were back home?
I was into science lab technology.
Science lab
Lab
technology.
technology.
Okay, like before we come into another aspect, again, coming here to Europe, why is it that you didn't continue from where you stopped here?
Okay, the thing about here is, like, we all know this. Anyone that studies a degree in Nigeria,
Mm.
when they come here, they still have to, like, augment. They have to increase the level or the value of that degree by adding additional courses or whatnot. So I wouldn't say that the Nigeria degree is useless. It's very good to have. But coming over here, you realize that if you can start from scratch, why not? You understand? Like, because mainly the education system in Nigeria prones you in a different manner compared to here. Here you have theoretical, and as you're having theoretical, you're being followed by the practical straight away. And practical, the amount of hours you spend in both are kind of almost equivalent. So it kind of makes the education well rounded. While back home, we know there is more theory. You begin to learn the practical aspect of things really when you move into your place of work, which can be a little bit tedious for the people already there working because they're expecting you to have certain skills
That to
already.
come and just begin
Yes,
to do things.
yes. So this tends to be kind of a problem at least. So the reason why is that I thought to myself, if I can start from scratch but having is the same thing anyways. I mean, like, I want a degree that helps me everywhere without the additional problems. So I thought because if you check online, Italy has one of the most rounded education in the whole world, even though the people themselves don't really appreciate it anymore, just like how we do. But
Like
yeah,
you now in Nigeria, you might not really appreciate what you have. There are people who are still here need to go back to go to Nigeria to go and study or do one
study
or two things. So
exactly. So like it all depends on what you want to do mostly. Because when I came here, I realized that maybe science lab tech is not really like, yeah, I'm going to be stuck in a lab forever. Like that's what I thought, and I considered the cost of starting my own private lab. So I did a lot of research, and I was like, maybe I should go for something that is professional, technical, but at the same time gives me my own liberty, but also the chance to work in a company
okay,
if I wish to.
okay, which
It gives,
is a totality now. You are trying to change your own course now, going for
yes,
something
I
different.
have already,
You have
yes.
had. Okay, what
Yeah,
are you studying
like
presently?
I am doing information. I'm doing information and logistics technical analysis. So
Now,
basically, it's people that your technicians, your network, your technicians when it comes to computers, setting up internet, setting up a whole network. Like if you have a company now, for example, a big company that wants to set up like an internet hardware, troubleshooting everything to make sure that their computer system basically is like how techs go when there's someone says a tech, it's software, like it's programming, it's all that stuff. I am on the hardware part.
okay.
So basically, like to simplify it, is I'm on the hardware troubleshooting, finding out why this is not connecting with this. Um, the roots of everything that is computerized. That's what I do. I
I
mean,
think that
that's
one.
what I'm studying. I'm not
I
doing it
think
yet.
yeah, that one
Yeah,
is. I think to me is more lucrative and more vast than
yeah,
compared to what we were doing before. More especially thinking of this Western world and what works here. You understand me? What
yeah.
works here, and also what you can be able to use. Maybe peradventure you try to move out of this place, go to another advanced country or something
Exactly.
like
That
that.
was my point.
Yeah.
Something I can do everywhere.
It's really okay. It's really okay. I think it's what sells everywhere.
Yeah,
They
oh
use that
man.
very well.
Yeah, that's the way
Okay.
now.
Okay, sir. Now back to your field of work now, as
Yes.
presently.
Hey.
Okay, now, so what do you say you are doing currently apart from your study?
Okay, I work in security.
And look at the way you are posing now.
Yeah,
Don't come and bust my
no,
vehicle.
no. I work in security and what do you call it? Hosting.
Okay.
So sometimes I work in high-end shops like Gucci, Diesel, and as security. Then I have the times where I work for events.
Okay.
So like there could be like a big event now here, and I normally apply to see if I can work as an agent, and then there's the one in which you have just accoyenza. I don't know how to say it in English. Hosting. I think it's hosting.
Oh, yes.
That one, that's the most boring one, and that's where basically you stand like this
Like a
for
soldier.
hours. Yes, that guy is very smart. But anyway, yes, you stand here for hours, and that's the most boring one out of all of them. So these are the three areas, and then sometimes I get agencies that beg me, not beg me, but like they ask me if I can do like some services in supermarkets
Mm.
because people steal in supermarkets a lot here. I wasn't aware to the fact, but when I found out, it was crazy. Like people do the most ridiculous things in
Yeah, yeah,
supermarkets.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
I never had an idea, but when I was like, okay, why not? Why not? So basically, I do security. Um, but I don't do close protection. It's just mainly doors supervising and sometimes CCTV.
Okay, all right. Because your stature can attest to that. Honestly,
I'm
your
small,
posing
oh.
and all that.
I'm
Oh
small
yeah,
compared to the other guys that I'm
no,
working with.
I think you
Yeah,
have it. You have it, even though it's not all and all. You have it at all, at least.
thank you. I
Okay, like
appreciate it.
sir, coming to the aspect of like general terms now in this Italy, what would you say in terms of life and in terms of opportunities here in this Italy, more especially for those people who are out there still seeking for a way to come here?
Okay, I will say one thing. Culture wise, it is much easier for us to have more in an English speaking country, more opportunities.
Okay.
One, because of the language, two, because of like it's much easier. You feel like it's something you know already, kind of,
Okay.
because of the language. Two is basically here, the opportunities here are a bit strange. There are opportunities here, yes, but it almost works like Nigeria. I don't know. This place is like a glorified Nigeria. That's what someone told me. That's what someone
Why did
told
you
me.
say so?
Because it's like Nigeria. It works with who you know, who you don't know.
Oh,
That's
oh,
how it
oh,
works
oh,
here.
oh.
And
Like
to,
connections and all that.
yes, yes. And to get to someone you know, you need to, because I'm sorry to say this, but like these people have a certain bias. Like they have a certain prejudice already coming to us, not all the time, but towards our skin. Because there are a few bad eggs
Hmm.
that try to show like the bad side of us. So what happens is that when you go into a new place, you need to like kind of prove that you're not. That's one.
Hmm.
And then you have to also prove that you're good. So that's double work. Understand? Compared to someone with a different who to come and just has to prove that they're working. But once you get through those two parts, and people like you, the doors are open here. And what I mean by people like you is by you being nice, not by glorifying. That's the difference
Yeah, yeah.
between here and Nigeria. Baba.
Try to twirly
Like,
and all that.
yeah, why? But like here, if you're just nice, polite, they will opening door for you everywhere. Put your pride aside. You don't need it. It's not gonna get you money. You know, that's the thing here. Put your pride aside, especially if you don't really have much. Like, like I get people being frustrated sometimes here because I get frustrated here too. And I want to lash out, but when I come to my senses, I calm down and I think, what is it going to get for me? Nothing. What's the main thing? Like, because me, I am planning. Like, I don't want to stay here.
Okay.
This is like a stepping stone for me.
All right.
Like I want to get the necessary tools that I'm going to have so that when moving into another country is going to be much easier. And I want to move to an English speaking country.
That would have been a question I wanted to ask you before. Like, first of all, before you leaving Nigeria to this place, you know fully well that here is not an English country.
Yeah.
Why do you decide to come here first? No,
Okay.
decided to go to maybe London, America, or Canada, the case may be.
Okay, I will drop a bomb for you now.
I just want to hear the bomb. People are
I was
expecting
born
it.
here. Yeah,
You're born here.
yes, but I don't stay here.
Why did you? Just explain to us.
Okay.
What we are interested of knowing
Like
what happened.
I was born here, but my parents they move around a lot. So after a few years, we relocated to Nigeria. That's what
Really?
happened. Yes, simple as that. So we relocated to Nigeria, and whenever like, but being it that I was born here, because I noticed that a lot of people have the problems. The main problem is that they cannot or they are not able to come here because of documents.
Mm.
And my luck was that having this, like, or at least having my dad that was here before, I was able to enter the country again. with ease. With ease, because it's still not easy, even if you have the passport, because it's expensive, flights and everything. But I was able to get here without having the problem of, you understand? But I, the fact that I don't like, the fact that because I think mainly in English and mainly in our main language, my main language, I do not express myself as much as I want to. Um, the culture here is very different from ours, as I said before.
Yeah.
And normally things that make us laugh, like normal things that make us laugh, normal things. No, there's a culture thing. There's a culture thing. I don't want to get into the details.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it makes you slightly uncomfortable, you know, and you just want to go to a place that looks like home, far from home. And those are the places like you mentioned, London, US. But as we know now, they're making very strict conditions on entry.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, like as a skilled worker to enter the UK, enter the UK now, you need to be earning at least 40K a year. So that, and 40K a year is like 3 to 4 thousand a month. You're a dentist. A dentist would leave Nigeria to come here to come out. Like it don't make sense. But
Yeah.
what they're trying to say, basically, they want to filter out people. So I want to put myself in the range again,
Okay.
so that I can move out. So and I can do it here. I can't do it from back home. So I just close my mouth, swallow everything I need to swallow as a man, just keep pushing. That's all. That's all, because
Yeah. Okay.
nobody's gonna come to your rescue. You
Okay,
have
sir.
to rescue yourself.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you are right.
Yeah.
Okay, the last question, sir.
Tell me.
Like you said, you were born here. Okay, yeah, this one brought us to another question again. Like, your parents, are they still alive?
Yes.
Both of them. Okay. I believe being born here, you already have your Italian nationality, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so was it still in existence, this functioning even up to date before you came here?
Yeah.
Your whole nationality is still here.
Yeah, because I was born here.
Okay,
I
so
mean their records and
okay,
everything.
you have your national ID here. More or less, you're an Italian.
Yeah, but culturally wise, I'm not.
Because of where you grew up from.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
like because like if you have a child born in another country, like I'm sure you have friends
Yeah.
that have children born in their country, and they tell you how hard it is raising their kids. Not because it's hard, because they have the difficulty already that children are not easy to bring up already.
Yeah.
Then you add the fact that your children are not like you. You understand? They don't reason like you. The environment doesn't induce them to reason like you.
Yeah.
You understand? So you have clashing opinions all the time. So why did I say this? You have clashing opinions all the time. So I believe that is the fact being born in a different country. I believe culture is very important. That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. Like finally, what would be your word of advice to people who are going to come across this video, who are still very yearning to come or leave Nigeria despite their engagement, they study or maybe working and all that? Is it encouraging?
It's encouraging, yes. Why not?
Does it worth it? Leaving your study or your businesses in
Okay,
Nigeria? Coming here?
okay. Studies? No. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. If you're in the middle of something, just finish it and come out. Business wise, don't stop your business. Don't stop your business. I would recommend, if you want to, you can always move over here and have a person of trust back home to see a way how you can lift up your business, because the money from here could make your business a very, very strong business back home. That is obviously if you have a person of trust. So my advice is, if you come in here, stick to good behavior. Don't show yourself too much. I mean, this is not the place. Like, let's be honest. This is not the place where you enjoy showing yourself. Because we do. We love showing our achievements. And it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But like, how do they say? Like, considering how slow, like the amalgamation, the incorporation of other cultures are into this one, you should take it down a notch a little. I'm not saying you shouldn't be yourself, but like take it down a notch. Do not engage in bad behavior. Do not engage in behavior that soil our name as Nigerians. Nigerians who are proud, we are strong, we can deliver, we're efficient. We have a lot of good qualities that we need to show the world. We need to stop showing the bad ones. We need to stop showcasing only the bad ones because we have. I tell people all the time, if you take all Nigerians and you put them here, I take all these people down here, this place is going to change in 5 to 10 years because everybody in Nigeria is business savvy. Business pushes economy. Italians are not business savvy. Italians want to work for 30 years, 40 years, and then collect their pension. We don't think like that. We think about leaving things to our parents. We think about our parents enjoying our money. We think about leaving things to our kids. So when you come here, you can have the opportunity to do that if you don't have the opportunity to do it in Nigeria. But you need to keep a level head because here there are so many distractions. That's one thing. There are so many distractions. It could be women, it could be food, it could be clothes, it could be anything. But there are many distractions here. So I recommend if you're coming here, depending on what your goals are, you could come and consider this place as a stepping stone. Or you can come if you want a quiet life, this is the best place. Because if you want a chilled, relaxed life, you taken care of along the way, if you follow their system, you'll be fine for life. But if you want more, which every Nigerian wants, we don't want to settle. We want more. We want to be remembered, even if it's not by the whole world, by our family. You understand? You should consider here a stepping stone. Do your thing here. Don't squander your money here. Save it. Buy things that are essential only. Help your people back home, but don't kill yourself.
By yourself.
And and that's it. Try to move on to greener pastures.
It's a business or an Igbo man now. If you want to do your investment now, will you like to do your investment here or back home?
I already have a few things back home.
Okay.
I have 2 pharmacies I set up.
Wow.
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah, here.
When you were already
The
here?
first one when I was in Nigeria,
Okay.
and the second one while I was here.
Oh, wow.
And I am planning to start something here too because the revenue here is much stronger. I mean, it's quicker back home, but here it's much more stable compared to, you understand? Because over there we have dollar rising, this one, that one, that one. If you have something substantial here, you'll be worried, but not so worried. Do you understand? And yeah, because business is the way. I think education is right. Education is good, but you should also educate yourself to having something of your own. That's because that's where your true money lies. Like not everybody likes to wake up 7, 6 every morning to go to the same place to have on them, only to come back be angry. You can't stay with your family because you need to cool down. All those things. When you're a boss,
You control.
you control that. You decide what times you go to work.
When you wake
But
up and when you sleep.
but let me explain this.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that if you're a boss, you have to be going to work in the evening every time and just relax. It means you have to be on your job
Yeah, your business
to
crumble.
crumble.
All right. It's a wonderful time with you. I thank you so much. I never
No.
take these opportunities for granted.
Thank you.
Honestly, I would love to see you in a greater height. Maybe then
And you too,
you
brother.
will be the one that will wire the next president's house here or computerize his apartment then.
Amio.
It's going to pass. Thank you so much.